Today we're going to install a GPS system on our Massey Ferguson 5713S tractor. It's been provided by FJ Dynamics, and they've sent us out a couple boxes to unbox here and get it installed into our tractor. So inside the accessories box is a wee flyer with all the parts inside, and then you get all the different spline sleeves is what they call it for mounting the steering wheel to your tractor. Every tractor would have a different size of spline, so it's working out what one fits your tractor. We'll work it out for this tractor and find the right one that fits. And then you get all your different brackets for everything else, for your gyro sensor and your steering wheel. There's a big heavy one there for, that must be maybe the monitor or something. But we'll work out what everything is and get it mounted to the tractor. That was the accessories box. This is the main box here. This will have the steering wheel and everything in it, so you get a few cable ties with it, and a looks like a wee plaque with your serial number and everything on it linked into your system, and then you get a certificate with your serial number and everything as well, and I'll take it that's install manual, and you get screen protector for the screen as well. It's a good job. Then there's all the parts list. So you get a screen, and then brackets. Looks like a RAM sort of mount bracket. 2 antennas, a 4G antenna. IMU, that's like your gyroscope for what way the tractor's facing, and then your steering wheel as well, obviously. You get a few stickers as well to advertise your system. And then these are all the wiring looms for everything, so we'll have to work out where to put these in, get power. That looks like direct power from the battery we need to bring in. And then you have all your different wires for, there's the antenna, must be 4G antenna. And then this is the steering sensor, I think, for mounting on the front of the tractor, show what angle your steering's at. And then another 4G antenna. There's the antenna cables for the actual GPS aerial for the antenna. And then another wiring loom. Every cable, so there's be ones for the screens, ones for going to the GPS system, everything else. And then underneath here, there's the steering wheel itself, connected to the motor mount. It's a nice big motor. Good steering wheel. So you get the steering wheel there. And then here's the screen for everything to connect to. Nice screen with a rubber surround on it. All your connections for going to the motors and all your sensors and stuff. And then we'll have that's the IMU for the gyroscope and everything. That's the mounting bracket then for going onto the screen. That'll be actually really easy fitted to our tractor where we're planning to install it. And then you get a few metal brackets. They go under the roof for your GPS dishes. And then I take it the domes are under here. So that's one of 2 GPS domes. So there's 2 goes on the tractor. Nice mounts. So we'll get it, that's it unboxed there. We'll get everything out and plan in the tractor where we want to install everything. So we'll try and get it installed here now. So just showing inside the cab here. Our plan is to install, well, obviously the steering wheel is going on the front here, so we'll have to remove the existing steering wheel, get it installed, and then just have to work out where to run all the wires from the roof and then I think up here is our idea to install the screen, as we have control panel here, and sometimes we put control panels here, so we need to not get in the way of them. So we'll just have to work out getting power run everywhere. This here is our current GPS system. It's just a TRIMBLE system, but it's only a light bar system to tell us where to go. For this tractor's used for spraying a lot and everything like that. But to be honest, it's not in a good spot there. It's kind of blocks the view of the front of the tractor, so I'll be glad to see it go. So we can take that out with this new system, because she'll be able to steer herself, whereas this here is just a rough guidance for eyeballing ourselves where we can go in the field. It's good for grass fields for spreading fertilizer or spraying or something like that, but the auto steer system obviously would be a better system for it now. So our plan here is to take this side panel off, and then we've take these 2 or 4 screws out the sides to run all our cables up, so we can run power to it and run the wires up to the antennas on the roof. I've now got the roof bracket built up. So these here brackets slide side to side, and this is where it will bolt onto the roof of the tractor. Same again on this side. So you can set it on the roof, bolt it up, and then slide the whole assembly side by side to get it centered on the tractor. These are the 2 GPS domes. They'll go on the roof, and then you'll have 2 antennas for your 4G. We'll get it on the roof here now and see. So I've got the antennas installed on the roof. You get the bar mounted up through the bolt holes, just depending on what tractor you have. You'll mount it anywhere, but then once you get them mounted up, you have to line it side to side, make sure it's square center onto the tractor. So we've got it mounted up here now, and each aerial or each antenna for the GPS on each side, and then the aerials for the 4G. So I've been looking through all the splines here to find the one that matches, and I think I found the right one. Took the steering wheel off the tractor and was looking through trying to match the splines up, and I think this is the closest match. That should just, I think that's it on. Yeah, so found the right one. So that now needs bolted on to the center of the steering wheel. So you get the spline and it just slides in here. Sounds quite nice. That fits real snug. Then you get the bolts and screw them in all around. So we've got the screen roughly installed here, and we're just trying to work out where we're running all the wires, see what way it'll work, and then get it neatly down the sides of the panels here. We'll take them off, run the wires nicely down the sides, and underneath tidy it up, get the steering wheel plugged in as well. So this is the IMU unit. It comes off one of the wires onto the wiring loom, but it needs to be mounted to a flush flat surface with the plug going out with the direction it travels. So it needs to go out the front of the tractor. So found a wee cubby down here, nice and flat, wee bolt hole. Hopefully I can get it bolted in nicely. And this here it's like the gyroscope, which will be used for adjust the roll of the tractor and what angle it's sitting at. So it needs to be on a flat surface to know what orientation it's facing. I have the IMU sensor bolted down there nice and level facing the front, and all the spare wires over here up into the panels. So just have to tidy a wee bit more wires up into the front here for the steering, and then should be it. So I've now got the power wired in nicely through a rubber grommet in the floor down into the battery box, and connected straight into the battery with the inline fuse. And then this power switch needs to get mounted somewhere, so you can turn the whole system, isolate the whole system when you don't want to use it. So I've opened up the panel just slightly. SIM card goes in here, and it just slides in. Knock the SIM card in, cover that up again, and then we should be ready to switch her on. I think that's nearly everything. All the panels put in, cables going in nicely into the side, running around under the floor, in the panel here and out nicely. And then this I will tie up here, keep it out of the way. Steering wheel's on, ready to go. And I've mounted the switch here, just easy to get to, but it's not in the way. Didn't want to be drilling holes into it. And then, so we can switch it on. And there's a power button in the top corner here, and it should fire up. I switch it on. Yeah. First time switching it on. That's good. Power's all on it. All the antennas connected up. So now I need to register an account. So it's been a few days since I've last looked at the GPS. I never got a calibrator or anything, just didn't get time for it. But today I'm trying to tackle it, get it calibrated, get everything linked up. But I do think she looks cool with the two domes on her. But she's all wired in, finished, ready to go. We'll get the system fired up. I've got the switch put down here for turning the system on and off. It's just an isolator sort of switch out of the way so you don't hit it or anything, and it fits nicely there. All the cables tied up nicely. But there's the screen there, and the button's up in the top corner here, so press that in for a couple of seconds and the screen will fire up. It's quite quick at starting up, and she goes straight into the software. We also have another tractor over there actually, that's TRIMBLE based, similar sort of system. It's only got one dome on the roof, a couple antennas, but very similar to this system. But I'm very interested to see how that system works compared to this. Now this system, the screen only has one cable coming out of it, but the idea of that is all your stuff is connected to this box behind here, and all your wirings going in, like them panels don't even close, and inside there is your 4G modem and stuff like that. The steering wheel on this is quite small, very flat and quite fat. It was quite hard to use, to be honest, so I got them to put the steering ball onto it, and it definitely helped a lot. But I was doing a few measurements, and the actual motor of the TRIMBLE system is the exact same size as the motor of their system, so be interesting to see how well it works. Their screen is probably, this one's maybe a wee bit bigger. It's quite dusty now, hadn't been used in a long time. This one we use for the planting, but it did take a lot of trial and error to get it working. It's probably about 4-year-old now. Works well, but when we did get it at the start, we had serious problems with it going out of connection and stuff, and I think we had to change the steering wheel motor at one point, and it just took a while to get going. So it'll be very interesting to see how easy this is, especially with this system from TRIMBLE. TRIMBLE come out themselves and install it, whereas ours, well, this one here from FJ Dynamics, it's a self-install system. So instead of paying someone to do it, you're installing it yourself. But the idea that makes the system cheaper as well. But it doesn't matter how you self-install it, it's just how easy it is to get working, because even if you self-install it and you can't get it working on your own, it's not really any use. But I do kind of like this steering wheel. It's a lot bigger, just nicer to grab onto. I got the RTK set up on it the other day. I just bought a license online, wee trial license, just to get it working, and it seems to be working 100%. But I just want to show you how I got it calibrated. So you go into parameters and you've got your angle sensor. I didn't install the angle sensor because they're meant to go on top of the wheel here to adjust when you're turning, but the way our tractor is, the brackets for the mud guards are on there, so it wouldn't be that easy to install, so I decided to try it without it. But to be honest, it was quite easy to get going. Now when I tried it, it said set the vehicle ratio and stuff, and I just put random numbers in here, didn't know what I was doing. But actually down here, automatic detection, and it does it itself. So to calibrate it, you just get in the gear, have a low sort of speed. It says 2 to 3 kilometers on level ground, so nice wee level yard here, and you just hit detect and you just start driving forward and it'll steer itself. So it wants about 2k. Get her up to gear, so it's just under 2k there. 2B might be better there, 2.3k. So it's just going to keep steering and work out itself. That's basically just calibrating the steering. It'll know, it'll be looking on the domes and seeing where it's, if the steering wheel turns a certain bit, where's the domes going and stuff, and it'll work it out. And you don't go for that long. Hopefully I have enough space here and it'll be calibrated, but it'll just keep steering here until it's happy. And that's it. Detection done, and that's steering calibrated just like that. That is it. That's the steering ready to go. And the RTK I have set up with my details on the network RTK. You just have to buy a license for it. I just have a wee trial to see how it'll work. So I'll go to the field here, and I think I'll take it to the field and try it out and see how it goes. So we've got the measuring all done on the screen here with all the vehicle information. It needs your steering wheel, your axles, where the dome is on the roof. So it's all set up now, and we're heading into the lake field, which was planted by the TRIMBLE GPS last year. So we're going to head in and see if we can set up an AB line with the existing planting that's there, and see if it'll follow it. And if it works well, it shouldn't run anything over, but if it doesn't work well, it'll probably end up running stuff over. So in between the lakes, I'll set my A point up and then drive to the far end of the field without running anything over, and set my B point. Now this is quite a strong test to see how accurate it is, because if it's out by even a couple inches, we'll be doing damage to the lakes, which we will not want to be doing. So we'll test this and see how it works. If it works well, then I will be happy. So we're near the end of the lakes here, so once we get to the very end, I'll set my B point, and then that should be nice and accurate. It does look nice and straight ahead with the lakes from the planting last year, so depending how well this works, it should follow it without any problems, since it is RTK and should be accurate to 2.5 centimeters. So that's me center there at the end. So set up point B, import, which will save it. You'll add a name to that, so I'll just say leaks. It's just a demo to see how it'll work. So we'll head out of here, turn around, head back into it, and the GPS should hopefully follow it. So the system's working well, driving up the lakes. Both sides, really tight to the wheels, but that's just the way the beds are for our lakes. So it's a really good test to show that the system's working well. And it's just following, no problem at all. Steering wheel is making very little movement, only what it needs to keep straight. And if I stop and go in the reverse, it just works. Still keeps it straight, doesn't run anything over. Following the beds, 100% straight. 0. 1 centimeter off, it straightened it up again, so that's brilliant. The RTK is working really, really well. I've jumped over one bed just to test that my wibs are 100%, and it's just following the next row without any problems at all. So the wibs are all correct. I haven't had to nudge anything. That's amazing. Right, you haven't seen this system yet, so get her turned on. And you put the screen, it comes with 2 screen protectors, and you put it on. Should have had it on. Nah, the screen looks good there, like. It's not too bad, like there's not that much bulk on it really, just all the cables coming down, but that's it. That's it? Yeah. It's ready to go. You don't have to hit, the thing with the Trimble is you have to hit all the log in and stuff and wait for this. Do you want to make a new line or go to the current one? I'm maybe actually just make a new one, so no how to do it. So I've added in simple mode. You can have it on a mode with farms and all on it, you know. So new guidance line. It's on straight line already. So that's it? That's it. So just get your A. Well, you know how they work. The steering wheel doesn't feel like that much difference to the old one, you know, as in like the resistance. It's not like you're having to turn the motor or something like that. Yeah. No, it's... Actually, yeah, I suppose you do feel a wee bit heavier steering. That one's definitely heavier. I kind of prefer the steering wheel in this because that one's smaller and a bit fatter. It's not as nice to hold. And it's very flat. This one is flat, but at least it's a lot bigger. You can kind of get your hand around it. Then it would need to be flat because you've got 3 inches of space in there. Yeah, yeah. That was the other thing. You don't want to noticing it the other day, like well, it's just going to be getting used to, but I was trying to flick like this here, and I was like, where is it? Yeah. But at least with the motor on it, I was scared you mightn't be able to reach the buttons down under here, but you can still get access to them, no problem. Yeah. Because you do need them for controlling the settings on the screen. That's a good job. But this is just a easy mode where literally just A-B lines, that's it. But you can set it up in like a farm management sort of mode. Yeah, well you do. It doesn't have to be straight, it can be curved. Yeah. But I mean, this here is just... Can you do centre pivots for the big fields? I think you actually can, yeah. There is, I think on the website it was... I haven't got many showing that. We might someday, you never know. So that's the line then. Import, yeah. And then you just make your name for what you want the line to be. That's brave and responsive, that screen. Yeah, it is a nice screen. And it's an Android system. It's very similar to the Trimble. The Trimble's an Android-based system. So it's the same if you want to adjust the brightness on the screen and stuff, you just swipe down from the top. Is it? Yeah. I like the fact she opens up straight away with the software rather than the Trimble. You have to click on it, wait a bit for it to load up. And then it's quick to load, definitely. Start? Yeah. Offset range alert. Is it doing it? Yeah. Oh, it is. See, it's hard to see her going because she doesn't do that much steering. Whereas you're used to the Trimble wobbling all the time. And then just fire in the reverse and see how she goes in reverse. Straight away, like she just instant knew she was going backwards. No, it's a good job, like. For self-install and for the price, it depends. You could throw it in really quick and like have the wires all over the place, or you could do what we've done and try and run it neatly behind all the panels. I know, but you're not going to have all those wires lying over the dash. I know, but it depends on the tractor too. This tractor, everything's quite tight. It's very hard to get stuff hidden. Yeah. If it was an older tractor, there's probably more room behind the panels to get the wires put in nicely. Put all the measurements in for the wheel spacing. It wants to know the measurements from where the dome is to the floor, the dome is to the back axle and all that. And so it knows everything like that. But for what we wanted to do, which is like we have the Trimble system, it's probably quite an advanced system, but we literally just use it for A-B lines. Yeah. That's doing the exact same. And will this work slow? Oh yeah, yeah.
Does she work in the creeper box?
Yeah. I tried it at 0.4. About 3A, yeah.
Super sure it does go slow, this tractor.
Yeah. So that's planting speed and it is working there. It moves very little compared to...
Seems to know, whereas in the Trimble you have to sort of...
It's always...
make your settings to suit what speed you're doing. Like if we have it set for planting, and then you're wanting to go and put fertiliser on it, you know, it's far too twitchy.
Yeah, you need to adjust your sensitivity, whereas this here just seems to... It's following that no problem, like. I think it'd be a nice planting tractor.
Far too good for a planting tractor.
Far too good for a planting tractor.
Yeah, it's definitely a quicker screen than the Trimble one. Trimble one would have taken ages to do that. And
you just drove into it, pressed it, and it just, you know, whereas the Trimble, you kind of have to go up and forward and back a bit to straighten it up. You know what I mean? Take it away this field next year.
Yeah. Alright.
Is it good?
It's working, like.
It's not as good as the alarm, but...
It is?
Think it is?
Yeah.
I think so.